A lot of people ask us, and a lot of people ask in emails are, I want to start shooting cookbooks. I want to start shooting cookbooks. How can I get involved with an art director in a publishing house or an editor? How do I let them see my work? Wow, that's really a big question. And it's a real great, ambitious question to want to eventually shoot a fully published hardbound book. First of all, look at your work and see who you want to approach. Again, a lot of these publishing houses have a lot of the information on there. There's always an art director on there or some type of content director on there. You can reach out, again, show your portfolio. But one way to start is to maybe work on your own cookbook. You know, a lot of people feel like, you know, they don't feel like they're a real photographer unless they get a full hardbound book. But not everybody gets that final job. Everybody starts from somewhere. And I think starting a small ebook is always a great way to be published. Photographing and starting an ebook of some sort, starting from there, or using that as a portfolio.
Or if you're not someone who cooks, you take photographs but you don't cook, partnering with someone who does the opposite end. So you partner with someone to create that ebook. Maybe they're the one creating the dishes and you're the one photographing it for them. So it becomes the same thing, and just two people doing it.
So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to do that. And, you know, editors are all online, too. I see them because they're talking. They're always trying to find new potential authors and things like that. There's a great way to reach out to them. I know of so many cookbook editors at different publishing houses who are online right now, who are super engaging, who are super responsive, always talking to people. That's a great way to reach out. And that's how a lot of people who want to write cookbooks reach out to these editors. They have those conversations. I see them on Instagram and Twitter, and then you've already put yourself in front of that editor, and then they get to see your work as a writer. So, and the same thing with doing cookbooks. You know, I know a lot of people who started by doing really great single subject, simple ebooks, and they started photographing and practicing there. And then they had 2 or 3 under their belt, and then they used that to approach a publishing house art director, you know, to show their work, to say they do have experience, they know all the different facets that you would need in terms of publishing a cookbook or shooting a cookbook.
Yeah. Some things to keep in mind, like when you do get the opportunity to shoot a cookbook, print is going to have a different effect than when you're shooting for a screen, when you're shooting for just online. So if you are used to shooting something super shallow depth of field, that gets emphasized even more when it becomes on paper. That, you know, the screens, we have such great clean resolutions, we're able to see the detail through things, but when it's printed onto paper, some of that detail becomes a little bit fuzzy. So if you have this great shallow image and you throw it on paper, sometimes it looks like this great fuzzy image, right? And so usually when we're shooting directly for print, we're shooting a little bit more wide open depth of field, or we're not shooting it quite as shallow.
Yeah, so not so blurry in the back, unless the editor wanted it, unless they make that request. Usually when you shoot a cookbook, the editor will hire you for your style, and they'll give you a whole list of things that they're looking for. And a lot of times they'll choose existing images that you have that they like, or they'll build a storyboard. We've had cookbook editors and art directors at publishing houses who have sent mood boards to say, this is the feel and the story that we want.
Yeah, but definitely if you're used to just shooting for your blog or just for online, get some of your images printed out. See how they're feeling different, so you know how you need to make adjustments if you need to when you're making something directly for print.